Então eu vou dar o toque e vou fazer um senpai. Então, cumprindo.
There are places that don't try to impress you, they wait for you. While the monastery welcomes long-term practitioners and retreat participants year-round, Sunday mornings are the special time when the gates open for most visitors, offering guided meditation and tours without needing to commit to a full retreat. The location wasn't chosen for beauty alone. Zen monasteries are traditionally built away from noise and distraction, places where environment itself supports practice.
What's up, amigos? I am at the very first Zen Buddhist monastery in all of South America, located in Espírito Santo, close by Vitória, founded in 1974. It is called Mosteiro Zen Morro da Varagem.
Espírito Santo offered silence, isolation, and space while still being accessible to visitors.
Em geral, opa.
The visit here isn't a typical guided tour. You move slowly through the grounds, following paths designed to reduce noise and distraction. Visitors are introduced to Zen, not as a belief system, but as a way of living. Through silence, posture, walking, and attention to everyday actions.
Essa dualidade que causa mostrar todo o procedimento. Então eu vou dar o toque e vou fazer um senpai. Então, cumprindo.
At the time, this land was degraded farmland. Instead of choosing somewhere already sacred, the monks chose a place that needed care. More than 150 hectares of Atlantic forest have since been restored, turning ecological healing into spiritual practice. In Zen, places aren't sacred by default. They become sacred through attention. The monastery follows the Soto Zen tradition, centered on Zazen, meditation, and mindful awareness in daily life. Visitors often say this place feels different, calmer, simpler, and more grounded than typical tourist destinations. Around 30,000 people visit each year, not for entertainment, but for stillness. You will notice multiple Buddha statues, and what that represents is the same awakened nature appearing everywhere, expressed in different forms. This points to the idea that enlightenment is not owned by one person, it's a universal potential. There's a Buddhist proverb that goes something like this: close your eyes and don't think about a monkey. What's the first thing you see? That's right, you see a monkey. From a Western dualistic standpoint, we tend to divide our experiences into good and bad, things we should feel and things we should avoid. But that way of thinking can actually create unhealthy coping mechanisms. When we label emotions like anxiety, fear, or sadness as bad, we try to suppress them. We distract ourselves, we cope. And in doing so, we disconnect from what those emotions are trying to teach us. This is where meditation can really help. Meditation is not about eliminating uncomfortable feelings. It's about allowing them. anxiety, fear, sadness, joy. They're all a part of the same human experience. They deserve to be felt, not fought. When you stop resisting bad emotions, they lose their grip. And often, you find that there's a lesson hidden inside the discomfort, something pointing you towards growth, awareness, or change. Nothing needs to be pushed away, both sides belong. Meditation is not about forcing thoughts to stop, escaping life, or relaxation, although relaxation can happen when you're meditating. Meditation is seeing thoughts arise and pass, noticing how the mind creates suffering, learning not to cling. Zen meditation is specifically direct. Sit, breathe, observe, no goal, which is very uncomfortable for modern minds.
Do happen to be in the area. Most of the people here do speak English. The tour guides, they go really deep, and it's condensed information, and it's all very interesting, and you learn a lot about the tradition of Buddhism and the history of it in Brazil. A day trip to Mosteiro Zen Morro da Varagem, 100% justified.
Inside the monastery grounds is another unexpected space, Estação Cultural. Founded in 1995, it's an artist residency where creativity and contemplation meet. Artists from Brazil and around the world live and work here, creating art shaped by forests, silence, and attention. Here, art isn't separate from spiritual life. It's another form of practice. Near the entrance of the monastery stands something monumental, the Buddha of Ibiraçu. In a predominantly Christian country, the Buddha doesn't stand in opposition. It stands as a reminder that different traditions can coexist, pointing towards the same inner silence.
Alright amigos, I am at Grande Buda de Ibiraçu, and this is something you would not expect in Brazil, right? Such a massive statue of the Buddha. It's right next to the highway. It's really hard not to stop by. I mean, they have a restaurant over here, and obviously this giant Buddha statue with the miniature statues. It's just something you can't miss. It's free. I love coming here. Every time I'm on this highway, I love to stop by, take a photo, and I think it's hard to resist, honestly. Something you do not expect in Brazil, here it is. The largest Buddha statue in all of the Americas.
Buddhism is not about belief. Most people think Buddhism is about believing in Buddha. It isn't. The Buddha is not a god. Buddhism doesn't ask you to believe anything. It asks you to observe your own experience. Buddhism is closer to a method of investigation rather than a religion. You don't worship Buddha, you study what Buddha discovered about the mind. The core idea that most people miss about non-duality is that Western thinking is built on duality. Me versus you, mind versus body, good versus bad, spiritual versus everyday life. Zen Buddhism challenges this entirely. Non-duality means there is no hard boundary between observer and observed. You are not separate from nature, other people. Enlightenment is not a superpower. People imagine enlightenment as eternal bliss, no emotion, being above life. Zen says enlightenment is simply seeing reality clearly, without filters. You'll still feel pain, get tired, have emotions, but you stop identifying with them. Thoughts happen, emotions arise, but they are no longer who you are.